Welcome in to the Punt and Pass podcast. I'm your host, Drew Butler, joined alongside by my co-host, Jake Fromm. Be sure to follow us on social media. We are at Punt and Pass on X and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube page, youtube.com/punt and pass. I'm at Drew Butler on social media. He's at Fromm Jake. Appreciate everybody continuing to watch us both on Atlanta News First and the Peachtree Sports Network. Punt and Pass airs 4 times a week on the television in and around Metro Atlanta. And if you have the Atlanta News First app, you can watch us anywhere nationwide. So we appreciate that. It's officially October. We've made it. I think the fall weather is just around the corner. Tomorrow, a Thursday, it's supposed to be like 76 degrees. So, Jake, maybe we're here. Maybe we are here. We definitely need it because we're entering week 6 of the college football season. It's crazy to think, man. It flies by. It really does. We definitely have a lot to talk about. People are still discussing Georgia losing to Alabama. There's a big game in the ACC this week. Bunch of stuff to break down. That's why you're here on Punt and Pass. Jake Fromm, how are you, brother?
Yeah, doing great. I think we are turning the page, getting into the fall. At least that's what my family expects it to be. So my wife, she's pregnant, and the only kind of good exercise that she can get is swimming laps in the pool. So here in the neighborhood, we got like a 25-meter long Olympic size, not Olympic, but kind of mini size pool.
Yeah.
We'll go swimming as a family. So I got some laps in this afternoon. You know what's so embarrassing?
Good for you.
Is my wife can smoke my fanny swimming laps.
8 months pregnant. I mean, she's very pregnant.
Oh yeah, no, we're a month away, and she can swim twice the amount of laps that I can.
Shout out to Caroline.
And it's so embarrassing. But anyway, I say all that to say we're expecting today to be our last pool day. So I do think fall is just around the corner.
Yeah,
and yes, that means football, better weather, hunting season, all that good stuff. So yes, we have some cool games to talk about. I can't wait to talk about that. So.
Yeah, we definitely do. Shout out to Caroline. That's fantastic. Yeah, I can say when I got cut from Arizona and I was still trying to play in the league, I was still living in Arizona. Jackie and I didn't have any kids. So like, Jake, you know the drill. You just work out. You kind of figure out what you're trying to do. You play a lot of golf. Yeah. And I started swimming a bunch. And got into great shape. I'm definitely not in that shape anymore, but dude, swimming is extremely exhausting. Like when you're swimming to actually work out, that is a phenomenal workout and a great way to burn some calories. No question about it.
Yeah, no, like my body can keep up, but it's like the oxygen, I can't breathe enough.
Like you're gonna drown in there.
Oh man, it kills me. And I just my problem is pacing myself. I just go, balls to the wall way too fast, too early. And I just burn out way too fast. I can't pace myself. So
I have that problem on the Peloton too, because, Peloton, you always have a threshold that you want to meet, or I don't know if you ride the Peloton. That's like my way of doing it.
I did it up in Buffalo a lot.
So, like for me, and not to brag, I don't think this is bragging, but if I ride for 30 minutes, my goal is to hit 400 kJs. That's getting after it pretty good. And, I'll be in the basement doing it, and like I open up the windows, I close the doors, it gets steaming hot in there. I mean, there's some where, minutes 28 to 30, I'm downstairs going, and Jackie's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just
the girls are like, "Is Daddy okay?"
I'm trying as hard as I can to, meet my goal, and then I'm just exhausted afterwards. So
yeah.
That's your little workout tips from the day from Punt and Pass.
Hey, you gotta get creative, post ball and all these different workouts. I enjoy swimming. Peloton, I'll do it. I'm not the biggest fan. I still enjoy the big lifting and all that good stuff.
You really?
Plus, yeah, I do. I don't know why. I've always enjoyed like lifting. And then, I mean, walking 18 holes, we're entering that weather. We're like, like it's more fun to walk rather than ride. And so we're kind of entering that time of the year as well. So, was supposed to walk 18 today. Didn't happen.
That's 6 miles. Yeah, that's 6.5 miles. That's a lot. I mean, that's a great way to burn some calories as well. No doubt, dude.
Look, we bring it all here on the podcast. So
I can't believe you still lift weights. I mean, I do kettlebells. I can't do like bench press. I can't do squats. No, you couldn't catch me ever doing a power clean or a hang clean anymore. No way. Do you still clean?
I'm kind of a sicko though. Like I'll randomly do front squats just because I'm kind of a sicko.
You get deep. Yeah, dude. That is pretty sick.
I don't know. Just power cleans. I've kind of gotten away from just because of playing quarterback and the wrist thing.
Yeah.
Now I won't straight bar bench, but I'll do as heavy dumbbell bench as I can do. So those are my only two exclusions, as I would say. But yeah, everything else is pretty fair.
You're still putting weight on your back and you're getting deep.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. I can't believe you do that. No, I'd get hurt. I would get hurt. So
well, if you never stop doing it,
right.
It's kind of like running and staying in shape. If you never get out of shape, it's pretty easy to maintain the shape. But once you get out of shape, it sucks getting back in shape.
No question about it. That's why I can't even run anymore. If I go running, do my calves, my hips, my knees. That's why I got to be on the Peloton. So
okay, so my big thing is I think you need to sprint at least once a week.
Have you ever heard my story about shrimp in the treadmill?
No.
Okay. That's not for here. I'll tell it to you the next time we're together. It's a crazy story for those who know it out there. It's wild. Let's just say this. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to still be here. It is a crazy story. Hey, we're glad to be here as well.
Absolutely.
Week 6 of Punt and Pass. Let's rock and roll. This episode of Punt and Pass presented to you by our awesome partners over at PrizePicks. Do your thing. Download the PrizePicks app. Use the promo code PUNT, P-U-N-T, PUNT. And when you play your first $5 entry, you get $50 instantly into your account. Win or lose. $50 instantly. All you got to do, download the PrizePicks app. Use the promo code PUNT. Play a $5 entry. Boom, $50. Win or lose. And they're still doing their free-to-play jackpots every single weekend for pro and college football. I saw them posting some guy got a $500,000 check. I want the $500,000 check. I'll be playing the free-to-play jackpot contest this weekend. Again, let me reiterate. It's free to play. You can win $500,000 only at PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app or go to prizepicks.com. Use the promo code PUNT. Your first $5 entry, you get $50 instantly. Win or lose. Check out PrizePicks on social media at PrizePicks. And this episode of Punt and Pass is brought to you by Humberto Injury Law. Today's episode of Punt and Pass brought to you by Humberto Injury Law. If you've been hurt in an accident and you need a team that fights for you like we fight on the field, Humberto Injury Law is here for you. Humberto and his team know what it takes to win, and they'll stand by your side every step of the way. Visit HumbertoInjuryLaw.com to learn more or call them when you need them. 770-888-8901, 770-888-8901. They will win for you. They've won for me. You don't have to pay anything until they win for you. Go to HumbertoInjuryLaw.com. Thank you to mi amigo, Humberto. Gracias. All right, people are still talking about the Georgia-Alabama game. Dogs still licking their wounds. At least a lot of dog fans are. I don't know if the Georgia football team is. I think they've turned the page. We'll get to that in just a second, but you're starting to hear some players talk. I've also seen some media members that are a bit salty. You know, Kirby Smart stopped his Tuesday night press conference. The media used to get access to 10 players a week. Jake, I think it's down to 2 players a week. Don't quote me on this. Don't quote me on this. That might have been just on Tuesdays. I'll have to go back and check.
I saw where Kirby's not doing the Tuesday anymore.
Kirby said, I'm done with the Tuesdays. I don't want to waste my coach's time. They're up in the team meeting or the coaches meeting. I'm down here for 15 minutes answering questions that you guys probably already know the answers to. I'm done with this. Thanks, but I'm done. And then I was seeing some stuff today on social media where they've really limited the amount of players the media can get to during the week. I need to confirm that. Don't quote me on it, but that is happening. However, defensive lineman Jordan Hall, he was available. He talked about the team's mindset after the Alabama game. I think this is a bit refreshing. I wouldn't exactly say I was expecting something different, but Jared, go ahead and roll it.
Yeah, having had time to sit with the loss and sort of go over the way things went, where is sort of the mindset of this team coming out of this game and what you guys want to try and accomplish going forward?
One more ball game. You know what I'm saying? We got 8 more games to go. The season didn't start and the season did not end with Alabama. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing we got to get through our heads. I feel like all the guys, you know what I'm saying, no matter if you're stuck on a loss or not, I mean, we got Kentucky in 5 days, so 4 or 5 days. So everything that happened in the past is in the past for a reason, you know. we had an opportunity to do it on Saturday. We didn't get that done. So now it's on to the next. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like that every single week.
I love hearing that. It kind of echoes what Kirby said after the game and in his Monday press conference to the tune of college football is like the NFL now. It is a week-to-week season. Jake, when you and I played, especially when I played, you lost the game, your season might be done. Like as simple as that. Now with a 12-team playoff, you got to pick yourself up off the floor. You have to keep marching on because even Georgia lost 2 regular season games last year, one in mid to late November at Ole Miss. They got smoked in that game, and they were still the SEC champions, and they still got a bye in the college football playoffs. So it's great to hear him say that. I believe that the coaches have absolutely drilled that into the minds of the players, and it's good to hear that the players are at least hearing that message. Hopefully they're believing it themselves.
I would put a lot of money on. So Jordan Hall said the season did not start and the season did not end with Alabama. I guarantee you that is verbatim what Kirby said
100%.
In the team meeting on Monday to the guys. Guarantee it. I would put a lot of money on that. And he's exactly right to all the reasons you're alluding to, Drew, because the show must go on.
Yeah.
There's plenty of opportunities to make the playoffs, and you have to keep moving on because you want to give yourself as many chances to make it to the college football playoffs. So, hey, man, your season is not done. Pick up the pieces, throw on a few Band-Aids, cover up the wounds, and let's keep this train rolling, man, because you have to keep going. Everything you want is still there ahead of you, and you have to respond. You have to respond quickly because playing Kentucky – this game is at noon. And historically, I would just say Georgia has not historically played well at noon games.
Yeah, that. And, historically, and this goes back to the Saban Alabama days. I hate continuing to go back to that, but you can't let Alabama beat you twice. And historically, the teams, after they played Alabama, those tough physical games, they had trouble picking themselves up off the floor. And oftentimes that game after the Alabama matchup was lackluster. Georgia cannot do that. They're obviously dealing with a lot of adversity. I want to go back to the NFL thing one more time. There is no profession. I think this is true. And Jake, I want you to talk about it. There is truly no profession that is week to week quite like being in the NFL. If you lose a game, it's the worst thing ever. Everybody's down in the facility. The sense of urgency gets ramped up. The guys on the bottom half of the roster are looking around. The GM is more involved. Like everybody's job is on the line. And I want to point to the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons go to Carolina after beating Minnesota on a Sunday night, and they lay an absolute egg. They get smoked 30-0. Offense gets shut out. It's a divisional game. And here in Atlanta, everybody was killing the Falcons. It's, should we fire Raheem? What's the offensive coordinator doing? Michael Penix is a bust. They go down the list and start tearing apart every single piece of the team. What do the Falcons do? They lift themselves up off the floor. Offense scores 34 points. Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, Drake London all had touchdowns. The defense stepped up, got a couple of turnovers. Now they have a bye week. Can take a little bit of a deep breath. Hey, we're back. We're 2-2. We got a bye week. We're still alive. That is the absolute key. It's responding to that adversity and we talked about it last episode on Monday. Adversity reveals character. And I think it's key that Georgia has realized, hey, we're dealing with some adversity. We got a long season. Kentucky. Then you turn around, you got to go to Auburn. That's going to be a night game. That's going to be very tough. Then guess what? At home against Ole Miss, who's the top-ranked team or the second top, the top-ranked team in the SEC. So interesting times, Jake. You got to go, man. Got to go.
Yeah, you got to go. You figure out what your team is made of, especially during this week following a loss. How do you respond? And Kirby's mentioned multiple times that he is a big fan of this team. He loves this locker room. He loves the guys on it. So, man, let's see what these guys do. Let's see what these leaders are made of and how they can get the guys going, rally the troops, and go out and really take care of business against a mediocre Kentucky team.
Yeah, they definitely are mediocre. Georgia's won 15 straight against Kentucky
15
as well. Yeah. Guess
15,
what happened?
wow.
Last time they lost was in Sanford Stadium, 2009. I was on that team.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Drewski.
Randall Cobb was the punt returner to that game. They had some dogs back then.
Yeah.
They had some good teams. So that's the last time George lost at home too. 2009. That's my bad on the clip. I sent Jared the wrong link. I'm just realizing that right now. So hand up. I'm dealing with some adversity right now.
That's right. How are you going to respond?
I got a great clip for you. Unfortunately, we're going to dig into those wounds that we're still trying to heal. We have to revisit the 4th and 1 play call from last week. Okay. It's the talk of the town. It just is. And that call has gotten a ton of response, right? A lot of breakdowns, people, whether they know football or not, guys like myself who want to talk about it. And of course, I'm going to say, take the 3 points. I'm a kicker / punter / specialist by trade. I gave you my reasons to why the ebbs and flows of the game. You take all the analytics out. You say, let's just give ourselves a chance, tie the game up. I still think we should have kicked the field goal there. However, I've heard a lot of people break down what they thought. I also heard Lane Kiffin on Kirk Herbstreit's podcast break it down from a head coaching perspective. I love that. We're going to get to that in a second. But Jake, I saw this tweet, and Jared, pull up the tweet if you can first. This guy's a really good follow on X at Coach Hayes Huddle. I've seen him pop up on my feed. He's in the algorithm. So massive shout out to Chris Hayes here. Give him a follow at Coach Hayes Huddle. And he said, hey, I appreciate George Foster making me right. George Foster, former All-SEC lineman at Georgia. George is a great follow on X as well at George Foster 72. Coach Hayes said, I jumped the gun with my first analysis on the 4th and 1 play. This should really be what we saw in the sequence on 4th down, regardless of the field goal situation. I'm going to roll the tape a little bit. Coach Hayes starts breaking it down. A lot of microscopes have been placed on the right tackle, true freshman Juan Gaston, who started the season as a right guard. He got kicked out to right tackle. Obviously, they're dealing with a lot of injuries on the offensive line. We talked about the play as well. Good play call. Alabama was confused. They ran up to the line. They used tempo. It was a tendency breaker, as you said, Jake. If Cash Jones is on the field, more than likely it's going to be a pass play. It was a run play. Cash got tripped up in the backfield, shoelace tackle. Everybody says he would have ran to the right pylon, could have had a great chance to score a touchdown, definitely would have got a first down. But Coach Hayes breaks it down with the help of George Foster, pointing a couple things out to him. Roll the tape, Jared. And Jake, when you want to cut it and chime in, just say it and we'll make it happen. Go ahead, Jared.
Guys, after George showed this to me, it was a very easy see that I screwed this up because I saw him step down thinking they were trying to duo block this. But this is strictly zone right. We're in a bastard formation. We've got 4 guys over with an ineligible on the left-hand side right now. All we have is a nub tackle right here. There's nobody else out wide. And who screws this play up is not Gaston. It is Dontrell Glover. If these two do their job, we're stepping zone weak right. Okay, so we're stepping away from the strength, away from the quads. If he posts him right here and Dontrell takes him on his inside shelf and allows, Gaston allows him to take over and climb because this guy shoots in this gap. So if Dontrell steps right there, he seals that off. He bases him right here and pushes him to the inside and climbs off of that to Sab right here. And now Cash Jones is one-on-one, probably walking in the end zone off of this guy right here. I know you say, well, he should have kick the field goal, whatever it is. It's hindsight's 20/20. I said the same thing, but they do have a play right here. If you're 2 young bucks who we're definitely going to be counting on this year, these are 2 true freshmen. All right, 2 true freshmen, and unfortunately, that's the kicks when you have to deal with 2 true freshmen who are doing a damn good job right now, guys. They're doing a hell of a job, and unfortunately, they had to learn the hard way right here. But if Dontrell steps out and takes that inside seal and he bases him, posts off of him and climbs, now you're not going to get this run through right here on Cash Jones, and we're going to have a better fit. So see how if Dontrell steps, he's got him sealed. But he steps down inside, which allows him to seal this gap. Gaston does a good job of pushing him inside to Dontrell. If Dontrell steps here, he's got it. Now he's climbing up to this play side backer. And if we don't get the run through right here, I think Cash Jones is on one-on-one with 3. This is probably going to be a race to that front pylon.
Okay,
All
so
right.
a really good breakdown. Jake, take it away.
All right, it's a good breakdown. I get it. You have the clicker in your hand, and you can always pause it. However, in that situation, you cannot pause it. Things are happening fast. We know that was a tempo play. As the center, you got to call your mic point, and you have to roll. Okay, because you have a head up nose there. I mean, that the nose can slant either way, and you don't know if the center is going to be working with the right guard or if the center is going to be working with the left guard. You just don't know. The mic was the mic. You don't count DBs into the picture, especially kind of in this look with the unbalanced formation. Hey, that's Cash's guy. Like, we're expecting Cash. Hey, you get paid too. You got to go take care of that guy, and you have to get what you can get. So Juan Gaston, the right tackle, cannot expect help on that play. He has the end, his head up guy by himself. And it was an awful rep. Bad rep. If you watch him, he's playing tall. You could tell he's tired. He leans over. It was a bad rep. The right guard's talking with Drew Bobo, the center, and he just doesn't know if he's going to be singling with him to the mic or if he's going to be with the left guard up to that mic as well. So there's communication there that's happening. The left guard with that 3 technique, he's getting covered up by him, so he might have to be working with the left tackle as well on that double. So there is a lot happening there. And then the issue with playing fast is, yes, you can catch the defense off guard, but also in that same note, you can get some weird funked up looks because, I mean, you just don't know where these guys are going, and they're trying to figure out and assess what kind of formation you're in.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it best. Juan Gaston had
a bad rep.
This is a bad rep, right? One-on-one. Now, what Coach Hayes is saying is that he was looking at it, and I'm guessing George Foster, the former offensive lineman, might have pointed it out to him as well. And again, we'll never know. What he was saying is like he wanted to chip the guy, and then Juan Gaston's supposed to go to the second level and seal off the linebacker in a short yardage tempo play. I feel like that's almost unrealistic.
He's got the clicker, and I'm no disrespect here, but he's got the clicker. This is inside zone. And, when you got the clicker and you hit pause, well, why didn't you just go to this guy? Well, man, stuff's happening here.
Yeah.
Okay. It's happening really, really fast. And you're trying to cookie cutter it into, well, it's zone right. Everybody steps right. Well, that's like middle school, high school ball.
Yeah.
That doesn't always happen. And a lot of times, man, you're trying to seal these guys off from gaps and pin them into gaps so you can really crease the defense. So, yeah. Just because it's zone right, doesn't mean you always have to step right. Man, stuff's happening there, especially with, you could tell they were pressuring off the left side there. And so, man, if they can seal that guy and pry that gap, I mean, Cash guts it. Yeah, Cash bounced it because he saw the end spike inside, and he lost contain. The end's not doing what he should be doing. Yeah. He made a play, and he got lucky. If Juan blocks him, Cash walks into the end zone, and then the defense, instead of us, talking about Juan Gaston, the right tackle, and Kirby's bad play call, then we're laughing at the defensive end for spiking inside and doing something he's not supposed to be doing. So it's just so funny how I know. One guy gets a little bit more on another guy, and it completely changes the outcome of the play and probably the outcome of the game.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, again, follow Coach Hayes on X at Coach Hayes Huddle, HUDL. A great follow. He's been breaking down Georgia game tape all season long. Appreciate his insight there. Thanks for letting us use that video for sure. My whole thing is this, and tell me if I'm wrong, okay? And this is me being in the stands, understanding the electric atmosphere, knowing that Georgia hadn't been tied the entire game. And I want you to answer this question because I don't know the answer. Georgia kicks the field goal. Okay. It's 24-24. TV timeout. Crowd starts going nuts. I mean, it changes the entire dynamic of the football game. My question to you, tie game, first time all game, 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Tell me Alabama's offensive coordinator isn't thinking differently than when they got the ball back right there. And now they're like, all right, let's start chewing clock because we need to make sure that Georgia doesn't get a lot of opportunities to get the ball back and try to score a touchdown or a field goal. I just think in that moment, you tie the game, the crowd's more energized. Momentum is firmly on Georgia's side. I think Alabama's coaches go about their business differently in that situation.
Yeah, you never know, but we can definitely speculate that, yes, the crowd gets more involved, gets back in it. They don't have this third down fatigue anymore. The game is tied, and you never know how tie games and situations, how coaches respond.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we can talk about players all the time, but how do coaches respond with their play calling? Do they play not to mess it up? Do they go back to what they know their guys can go? Or, hey, are we still, firing shots? And, hey, like, we're going to keep letting this thing roll, much like it was earlier in the game. So you never know.
All right, so let's put a bow on this because hopefully this is the last time we talk about it. Lane Kiffin was on Kirk Herbstreit's podcast with Joey Galloway, and I'm going to have to paraphrase. I don't have the video, but I found it fascinating, and I'll tweet it out at Drew Butler. Follow me. I'll repost it. Kirk Herbstreit asked probably no one better than Lane Kiffin, hey, explain this to me. And Lane Kiffin's like, look, as an offensive coach, you are repping this stuff, the sequencing of plays Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like when you get into that situation, Georgia already knew in that moment. And this is what I thought he brought up, which was a perfect reminder to everybody. You have in-helmet communication now with the offensive coordinator and the quarterback, right? So on that 3rd and 7 or whatever it was, Bobo's talking to Gunner, hey, we get to 4th and 3rd or less, we're going for it. Get up to the line. Like that's in his ear now. I totally had forgotten about that. So Lane Kiffin's like, hey, Charlie Weiss, my offensive coordinator, he's telling him, if it's a plus yardage play and we get 4th and 3 or less, we're going for it. Get up to the ball. Let's roll. I totally forgot about that. I thought it was great. Lane Kiffin goes, but you also have to remember the defensive coordinator has in-helmet comms to the linebacker as well. So there's just a lot more communication going on the field. That's how sometimes those tempo situations come up. You've repped it. You know exactly what to think. So Kiffin was breaking it down and said, look, it was a good play call. He's an offensive mind. He goes, I don't mind them going for it. It was really intriguing, refreshing, and insightful to hear Lane Kiffin break that sequencing of plays down. And, at the end of the day, he's like, look, if you got it, Kirby's the smartest guy in the world. He didn't. Now everybody's taking arrows. That's the nature of the beast. And he's like, of course, if you wanted to kick the field goal, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But that's football. And I just loved hearing him say that because that's a dude who's been in the fire more times than probably anybody can count.
Well, Hunt, so do you understand sequencing of plays now?
No, I do. You
so
definitely have. And guess what? Yeah.
Only because Kiffin explained it.
Now
you understand.
Let me make one thing very clear. You taught me about sequencing of plays right after the game. And let me make one other thing clear. I still think they should have kicked the field goal, okay? That's how I feel. So it was good. I sent it to you. So Jake, do you have any thoughts there?
No, man. I mean, obviously, Kiffin's been a head coach at every level.
Yeah.
Kiffin gets it. He's called plays at every level. He understands it. No one, there's very few that understand it probably as good or better than he does. The way Gunner responded and the way he got up tells me that was probably not communicated to him. Kirby said it was that him and Bobo were talking about it. But the way Gunner responded to getting up in that clip tells me that probably was not communicated to Gunner.
Gotcha.
But I would say, sorry, just coming from where I've been in the last 5 years of just kind of like, well, yeah, like, hey, if you have there's a good line of communication between you, your OC, and your head coach, like, heck yeah, man, that is so just good to have as a quarterback, of having that bits of information of, hey, we're in this fringe area right here. Hey, it's 3rd and 10, but if you can make it 4th and 7 right here, we're going to kick this field goal, or hey, if you make it 4th and 3 or less, we're going for it. And so, man, having that certain line of communication, it 100% alters your decision making and how you see the play, right? I mean, if I know I need a couple yards, hey, I may be more inclined to use my legs and maybe not take a riskier shot down the field. So you never know. But I mean, for me, that was always really, really good information to have. And it kind of changed how I viewed the play.
Yeah, Kiffin said, hey, as soon as that play's done, microphones are live all the way until 15 seconds on the play clock. Like, as soon as it's done, he said they're back on. And he went on to say, that's why you're seeing so many younger guys playing on defense and on offense. And he went on to talk about his quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss. He's like, dude, this kid, we didn't even have him in the spring. He's like, we can be in his ear talking about formations if they get up to the line of scrimmage in time and really prepare him.
Yeah, because and you can do more of it in college because of everybody at the line of scrimmage more. Yeah. The NFL, I mean, you have just enough time. You get it in, you spit the play out in the huddle, and you get to the line, and then you're at 10, 11 seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
And the line, it's cut at then, right? We said 15 seconds. So usually you don't have that luxury just because of the nature of the huddle and all these different play calls that you have. But definitely in college, man, when you're kind of at this on the ball tempo, like, hey, you can do that of hey, let's go check with me, clap or say a cadence. All right, what do we see? We see, hey, cover two. Hey, 4 verts right here. Let's go inside out on the safety, down to the back. Boom. Go.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable. Well, as we know now, football games are won in the fourth quarter, and cases are won with relentless effort. Humberto Injury Law never lets up. They fight until the final whistle for every client. If you need a team that won't quit, check them out at humbertoinjurylaw.com. Call them 770-888-8901. 770-888-8901. humbertoinjurylaw.com. He's won for me. He has won for me. That's why he's here on Punt and Pass. We love Humberto Injury Law. You got to check them out. He's the #1 personal injury attorney and workers' comp attorney in Atlanta, and he's always available for you. You don't have to pay a penny until he wins for you. And again, he won for me. He's got to be your first call. Humberto Injury Law, 770-888-8901, humbertoinjurylaw.com. All right, we're about to go inside the 5 and break down the top 5 games of week 6 in college football. But before we do that, it's the DB3 piece. Yeah, that's right. This episode of Punt and Pass presented to you by PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app. Use the promo code PUNT, P-U-N-T, PUNT. And when you play your first $5 entry, you get $50 instantly, win or lose. Here is this week's DB3 piece. All right. You kind of warned me about my first pick, but I'm going with it anyway. I think Zachariah Branch is due for a big game. I saw a clip. Somebody posted it. I don't think it was Coach Hayes. That little bubble screen that was dropped, Gunner kind of missed through it. That was a house call, 70-yard house call. Everybody had their man. Zachariah Branch would have been buzzing down the middle of the field. He gets a little get-right game this weekend. I know it might be tough. Early start. You said watch out for these skill guys after a tough physical night game like against Alabama. Zachariah Branch, more than 38.5 receiving yards. That's going to get us on the board at noon. Zachariah Branch, more than 38.5 receiving yards. I'm going to go to the 3:30 game. Alabama's hosting Vanderbilt. I think we could see some fireworks in this game. Vandy's offense puts points up on the board, but Vandy's defense also, they've been letting some points get on the board as well. Ty Simpson, Alabama quarterback, more than 2.5 total touchdowns, passing, rushing, and receiving touchdowns. Ty Simpson, more than 2.5 passing, rushing, and receiving touchdowns. I think the quarterback's going to have a big day, and we're going to finish things off with the night game in ACC Classic. My boy, Carson Beck. Okay. Carson Beck could shine this weekend. This could be his really Heisman type game. The top 20 matchup, Miami, Florida State. The rivalry is renewed. Carson Beck, more than 236.5 passing yards. Let me recap the DB3 piece. Zachariah Branch, more than 38.5 receiving yards. Ty Simpson, more than 2.5 passing, rushing, and receiving touchdowns. Carson Beck, more than 236.5 passing yards. $50 to win $300. Use that first $5 entry on the DB3 piece. You get $50 instantly, win or lose. The free-to-play jackpot is live again this weekend. Again, it's free to play. Download the PrizePicks app. Use the promo code PUNT. Shout out to PrizePicks. All right, let's start breaking down these games. We'll start at noon between the hedges. Kentucky visits number 12 Georgia. ABC has the game. Georgia is a 20.5-point favorite. The total is 48.5. Jake, the Dogs are 0-4 against the spread so far this season. As I said earlier, Georgia's won 15 straight over the Wildcats.
Statistics would say they probably cover in this one.
Would hope so.
Right?
Yes.
Right? Even being a noon game, I think there's a fire lit in them. I'm just not all that impressed with Kentucky. The only thing kind of scaring me in this is the noon game, but I don't know. I think Georgia covers in this one only because post-loss, and they hadn't covered a game yet. Like, sooner or later, it has to be it. But who knows? We may be here next week being 0-5.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Phil Steele says the Dogs are 8-7 against the spread in those 15 games with just one cover in the last 6 matchups against Kentucky. Keep in mind, Georgia narrowly escaped Kentucky last year, 13-12. They were 22-point favorites in that game. I think Georgia picks himself up off the mat as well. Look, if there's any time to have a noon game, it's after you lose at home the week before. They want to get on the field. They have to have a good performance. You better have a clean game, and because you got to go to Auburn at night the next week. I think the offense steps up. I think the defense, man, I hope the defense definitely gets the quarterback on the ground. They need some sacks. Our boy Davin Bellamy was fired up after that game against Alabama. But I think Georgia has a get-right game here. I'll lay the 20.5 reluctantly. It's time for them to cover a football game. My goodness, they absolutely have to. So Jake and I are both on the same side there. Expect a good performance from the Dogs. How about this game at 3:30? Number 9 Texas is at Florida in the Swamp. 3:30 on ESPN. Texas is just a 6.5-point favorite. The total here is low at 41.5 points. Arch Manning seems to have found something against Sam Houston State, I guess. Billy Napier's still in the crosshairs down in Gainesville. You would have to think this would be a pretty raucous atmosphere. Florida's got to get a win at some time. I just don't know if it comes this week.
Yeah, I don't want to get ahead here, but when you send them to me, they're right here next to each other. So you have Texas at Florida, Texas 6.5-point favorite, and you got Vandy at Alabama. Vandy, a ranked team at 16 versus Bama coming off the Georgia win, ranked at 10, and Bama is a 10.5-point favorite over Vanderbilt.
That's right. So something smells.
What's going on with Texas here at 6.5 points versus a struggling Florida team? I mean, the point total is low. I mean, is Florida desperate right here? I think I'm about to go Florida here in this one.
Just the 5th meeting between these two teams and the first in Gainesville since 1940. That's unbelievable. Should be a great atmosphere. It'll be a great Jersey game as well. Texas, I'm assuming, will be in their all whites. Florida should have their blue jerseys on, so that will be good. Look, I've said Florida all season long, and they just cannot put it together. I'm going to go with Texas here. I think Steve Sarkisian can cook some stuff up. It's like taking the bait. I know it's going to be the most public play of the weekend. Everybody probably thinks it's free money. Texas by less than a touchdown. Are you kidding me? Florida stinks. I'm going Florida. Give me Florida plus 6.5. Give me Florida plus 6.5. I just talked myself out of it. Should be a good game. I think it'll be closer than people think. I really do. All right, the 3:30 ABC game, 16th ranked Vanderbilt at number 10 Alabama, 3:30 on ABC. Jake, you just said it. Bama's a 10.5-point favorite. I love the over here. The total is 56.5. Diego Pavia.
Yeah, give me Vandy.
Talking that talk. He is talking that talk.
He wants a date with Tate McRae. He's going to go ball out against Bama and Bryant Denny. I mean,
Vandy's undefeated, dude.
They're undefeated. I think I saw or heard something. Vandy has not beaten Bama at Bama since 1984. Maybe that's correct. Maybe you can chat GPT it real fast here for us, Drew. But I have Vandy in this one, man. I think 10.5 points is just too high. I think it's too high. I think Vandy's a good football team. I think Bama's riding that high. I think they're kind of an inconsistent team. I think they played about as good as they could play and steal a win at Georgia. Really, I really do. So give me Vandy this one.
Phil Steele again says prior to last year's loss, the last 4 games between Vanderbilt and Alabama won by an average score of 43-3. Vanderbilt has lost 11 straight road games to Bama. And yeah, the last time they were there, Vanderbilt fell 55-3. Bryce Young threw 4 touchdowns. Look, Diego Pavia is talking about it. Give me the 10.5 points. I think Vanderbilt's spunky. They're just going to score. I think they're going to be able to score a lot. I really do. So I think it'll be close. Alabama wins by 10 points.
8 points.
There you go. ACC matchup. Number 3, Miami at 18th ranked Florida State, 7:30 p.m. on ABC. Miami's a 4.5 point favorite.
This
total is 53.5. Florida State's got the little extra rest. They lost last Friday to Virginia.
I like Florida State in this one.
Do you really? A little bounce back game?
I like the bounce back games, man. People are going to lose this year.
Yes.
I just think there will be a lot of good teams that lose ball games this year. And that's just the way it's going to be. I think college football is just more emotional, man. And the urgency to respond. I mean, you can see it at Georgia. You are going to see it from Florida State when they play Miami.
Yep.
And at Doak Campbell. And I think Florida State responds here. Night game. I think Carson plays well, but I think this is going to be an emotional game for Florida State to put their face and their name back on the map.
All right, you talked me into it. I like Florida State as well. I think Carson Beck has a good game. I would expect that one to go under 53.5 points.
Yeah, could you imagine a 2 or 3 loss Florida State team, but with a Bama win and a Miami win?
Ooh, interesting.
Watch for that later on in the season.
I like
that. Could be very possible.
Okay, quickly here. Mississippi State at 6th ranked Texas A&M. It's a night game at Kyle Field, SEC Network. A&M is a huge 14.5 point favorite. The total's 55.5. I like Mississippi State. They took a tough loss to Tennessee last week. Jeff Lebby's got those boys scoring on offense. Give me Mississippi State plus the points. I think they might win.
Yeah, they're fighting hard, man. They want an SEC win so hard. I don't think they get it against Texas A&M, but I'm with you taking Mississippi State here with these points because I think they keep it close. They're just not quite there yet.
They're not quite there yet. All right, it's going to be a great weekend of college football. It's week 6. Appreciate you tuning in to Punt and Pass right here. Again, this episode of Punt and Pass presented by our awesome partners over at PrizePicks. I gave you the DB3 piece. I'll post it on social media this weekend. Check out PrizePicks on social media at PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app. Use the promo code PUNT. Your first $5 entry gets you $50 instantly. Remember, Humberto Injury Law is your first call when accidents happen. This episode of Punt and Pass brought to you by Humberto Injury Law. Don't wait. Visit HumbertoInjuryLaw.com today. Humberto Injury Law. Protecting people, fighting for justice, winning results. The #1 personal injury and workers' comp attorney in Atlanta. Call them 770-888-8901. Visit them at HumbertoInjuryLaw.com. Jake, anything on the way out, my man?
No, man, it's going to be a great weekend. Weather's going to cool down. It's going to be some great football on the TV.
All right, follow us at Punt and Pass, at Drew Butler, at From Jake. We will talk to you next week. Have a great weekend, everybody. See ya.
We out.